.300 hitter a year ago, or just shy of it. And the first pitch from Gordon is a strike at 4:04 this afternoon.
It's even more impressive about their 58 runs. They only had 26 at-bats in the 4 games. 3 of them were 7-inning games. And, of course, they obviously never batted in the bottom of the last inning.
Capable of putting up a lot of runs in a hurry. And obviously, you've got to step up in competition level here today, but good lineup's a good lineup regardless. One-two pitch from Gordon. Skied in the air, foul. Austin Gordon, the name of the game is keeping the ball in the ballpark. That was a problem at times last year, but as long as he did that, he was money for the Tigers on the mound. 1-2, good breaking ball, strike 3. Right on the black and well framed by Jacob Jarrell for the first out.
Nice way to start. Presbyterian only had 18 strikeouts offensively in the 4 games over the weekend.
Here's Brody Farr. He had a pretty good weekend. 11 of 15. 3 extra base hits and 10 RBIs and no strikeouts.
11 of 15. I would take that tomorrow night as a free throw shooting performance for the Clemson basketball team in Atlanta.
Foul ball from Farr, 1-1. Farr is an upstate native. Bunch of those playing in this game. Riverside High School. Foul ball back again, 1-2.
He was a preseason all-conference selection, made second team all-conference last year.
1-2 from Gordon. More fastballs, and Gordon's pumping them up pretty good right now. 94 on that fastball. We'll see him sit in the mid-90s. Another 1-2, and there's that breaking ball again. Wonder when he'd break it out. This is the 17th career start for Austin Gordon. Ball slapped to third, right at the third baseman, Blake Wright. You know, Farr, even his approach at the plate, very similar in some ways to Cam Canarella.
Yeah, I was going to say it felt that way too.
Good job fighting off a couple good pitches and then ripped that one. Tigers just placed in a good spot. Now Gordon faces Joel Dragoo. He's the only player to be named the Big South Player of the Year in 2024, Player of the Week in 2024 so far. You see the numbers from last weekend.
He's a junior from Texas. Hit 2 home runs at Georgia last year on February 28th.
Down and away. Gordon falls behind.
He was the only Presbyterian player to play all 55 games last year.
And he hit him. Dragoo takes one on the elbow. It's the 11th hit batter of Austin Gordon's career. Squarely on it, went straight down.
He was trying to get a curveball to come back, but it never came back.
Runner at first, 2 down. Noah LeBron. Little bit tight. Says our home plate umpire Kenneth Fitz. He was right on that.
LeBron scored 10 runs over the weekend. It was the most of any Presbyterian player.
Skied fouling out of play. Yeah, as you could imagine, a lineup that's scoring the number of runs that Presbyterian was scoring, just about everybody got into the act, but this top of the lineup, and they were scoring basically every single time they came to the plate. There's a look at one off the plate.
As I said, they scored 58 runs and 26 at bats, so they're averaging over 2 runs per half inning there at the plate.
That's where the 2-out base runner is problematic. 3-1.
He stole 8 bases last weekend, too.
Ground ball. Shift got him. 6-3 put out, and the inning is over. Tigers coming to bat in a scoreless game in a Clemson uniform, playing a whole game.
Yeah, it certainly adds a lot of speed to the attack.
Speaking of speed, one thing missing from Clemson's weekend, the sweep of Xavier, 0 for 1 in stolen bases, and it was on a batter's interference. Canarella lifts the ball, right center field. That's going to carry well, and it is going to be out of here. Well, Cam Canarella, known as a patient hitter. Doesn't mean you can't bust the book up every now and then. Cam's first home run of the season, the Tigers starting off on the right foot.
We said over the weekend he went with the ball beautifully. We hit the ball where it was pitched, and that was kind of the low inside part, and he just got around at it beautifully. Knocked it out in right center.
That right there is one of the reasons why he's getting a lot of early buzz for a potential #1 overall draft pick. Because he sort of, there's a breaking ball, almost hit Will Taylor. Canarella sort of has a profile of a slapper, but he's got that pop that he just showed you out to right center in a night where the wind's not exactly helping. This ball's hammered, but that's foul out of play.
He's let off a lot in his first year in 4 games, but according to what I see here, that's his first leadoff home run of his career, his first inning home run.
Will Taylor back in the lineup. Had a death in the family and attended the celebration of life on Sunday. 1 for 8 in the first 2 games, starting in left field. Hit by a couple of pitches as well. The ball's laced foul. A changeup from the righty Hollister. If you're Hollister, you really got to settle down in a heartbeat here. Not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do against this Clemson lineup. That pitch didn't miss by much. Last year, Hollister gave up just 4 home runs in 28 2/3 innings. That's not exactly what he's known for.
Canarella's home runs was the 6th of the year for the Tigers.
One hopper right to short. Nice play by Farr, and then Cuervo at first couldn't scoop it. Taylor quick out of the box, even for a right-hand batter. Farr may have had a little more time to make this throw.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good throw. He gloved it fine.
And Cuervo, that one may have caught him on the wrist. You see him taking that glove off, shaking his left hand out. You wonder if that just jumped on him a little bit. That goes in the books as an E6, as you would imagine. And he bluffed going. PC was ready for it. Blake Wright back out at third base for the first time this season today. Made 3 starts at second base over the weekend against Xavier.
Was 6 for 14 on the weekend. Actually led the team in total bases with 11.
Culminated in that Sunday performance. He was excellent in all facets. This ball's lifted to right, and he turned around Weatherington a little bit, but he gathers it. First out of the game recorded by the Blue Hose here. Taylor stuck at first base. Now Alden Mathis. Quite a debut for Mathis. Richmond transfer, grand slam in his first at-bat as a Tiger. In all, he drove in 6 runs in the opening series. He was walked 7 times. Throw over to first, chases Taylor back. 7 walks to just 1 strikeout for Mathis, and he was 4 for 8 with 4 runs scored.
Yeah, he and Obertop both had 7 walks.
There's a close pitch he took off the plate. Hollister coming in the upper 80s. Touched 90 a time or 2 thus far. There's off speed for a strike. Good pitch.
Yeah.
Mathis has really come in and solidified himself out in right field and in the heart of this order. Showing some good chops defensively. And this is a baseball team where a lot of guys waiting in the wings for an opportunity if you're not producing. There's a rip through the right side. Base hit. Taylor not stopping. He's going to easily end up at third base. And the Tigers are in business here. Men on the corners with 1 out. Good piece of hitting here from Mathis.
Both kind of low in the strike zone, inside part of the plate. Went with the pitch very nicely, just like Canarella did.
Now, this is something the Tigers probably didn't do quite as well on the weekend as Eric Bakich would have liked. Runners at third, fewer than 2 outs. When this team was really motoring last year, they got these runners in every single time. Doesn't go. He thought about it, and there's a strike. Jimmy Obertop takes it. Michigan transfer in the DH spot today after catching twice on the weekend and playing first base on Friday. Obertop, we mentioned the walks. 7 walks to 3 strikeouts. Mathis, double-digit steals last year at Richmond. He's got some pop in his bat, but he also can swipe a base. Obertop, even early in his Clemson career, a guy with a lot of gravity to him. Established himself as one of the leaders on this team. You always love to see that from a transfer. Runners leading at the corners here. 1-2 in the air. That's foul.
Obertop hit 29 home runs at Michigan. 11 in 2021 and 15 in 2022. Hit just 3 in limited action due to being injured last year.
Breaking ball, strike 3. That's a beautiful pitch from Hollister and a big second out recorded by Presbyterian.
Boy, that had some movement on it.
Can't do it a whole lot better than that.
No.
Obertop knew it too. Andrew Chufo, the shortstop, stands in there. Both pitchers up around the 20 pitch mark in the first inning. Chufo drove in 3 runs, had a homer. Back in the Xavier series. A lot of these Clemson players with good walk to strikeout ratios. Talked about those 2 guys in the heart of the lineup. Over the 3-game series, Clemson drew 27 walks to just 20 strikeouts.
Mathis and Obertop were 14-4.
That's similar to what Presbyterian did as well.
Yeah, they had 36 walks to just 18 strikeouts.
So both teams incredibly patient, and you can see that combination of patience and then attacking when the ball's in the zone. And there's a 4-pitch walk to Chufo to load the bases. So for the 13th time this season in an inning, Clemson has loaded the bases. Talked about the run scoring. 19 of Clemson's 33 runs over the weekend were scored with the bases loaded. And you got to think that they're going to be a little bit better as the season goes on, more consistent in executing these situations. But if you keep loading the bases every inning, Tim, there's going to be some payoff here.
Yes, you would think so.
Jacob Jarrell back in the lineup. He went 2 for 4 on opening day. There's the Tapper foul.
And as I said, Friday, of course, last year's team got the bases loaded a lot and hit 6 grand slams, which was the second most in a season in Clemson history. The record is 8 grand slams by the 2010 team.
Top feature of the year so far, the try box. Just outside, 1-1 the count. Here's what we're talking about with Clemson's offense now. Just some gaudy numbers. Again, on base over 500. Both of these teams coming in. There's a foul ball from Jarrell. The 33 runs scored, the slugging over 600.
The team batting average was 376.
And that stat, half the innings offensively against Xavier, the Tigers loaded the bases. They kept pressure on the Musketeers pitching staff inning after inning after inning. Breaking ball missed there, and Jarrell's got a 2-2 count. Pitch number 30 for Hollister. He's had to labor a bit, but he's only given up 1 run so far. Here's this 2-2. Strike 3 called. Right at the top of the zone, and 2 big strikeouts, including 1 with the bases. Well, figures 3 straight with 16 runs. Presbyterian hadn't been shut out in a whole lot of innings, and you got to think it's only a matter of time before they start throwing crooked numbers up there, unless Austin Gordon can really continue to fire it in there like he did for most of that first inning.
Absolutely. And 1 strikeout, gave up a soft liner to third and a ground out.
Ryan Oots at the plate, veteran. He's 7 of 14.
And 2 grand slams over the weekend at 11 RBIs. He's a senior from Gilbert, South Carolina. Had 38 starts last year. Kind of a utility guy, and then he started to catch a third base and DH in the outfield last year.
Based on his productivity over the weekend, he's on pace for 28 home runs and 42 stolen bases. That would be something. Full count. Oots trying to be a leadoff base runner against Gordon. Austin Gordon, a guy who doesn't walk a lot of people. He attacks with a fastball there. There's a look at Gordon. Line drive, center, that's going to carry. Canarella at the wall makes the catch.
Right in front of Jack Leggett's sign.
One down. You can see the pop in Oots' bat. He gave that one a ride.
So far, we've seen a couple of balls carry. The wind is very light.
Hey, this was most definitely a hitter's park, particularly left of center on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, it became a pitcher's park. You couldn't get it out of here with a cannon. Evan Cuervo, first baseman, now ahead in the count 2-0.
Cuervo is from Tampa and is a graduate of Steinbrenner High School. Think that program has a good baseball
I
bench?
think so. I think they may be well funded. 2-1 the count. Yeah, I don't think you ever have to worry about much from a baseball standpoint at Steinbrenner High School. Gordon battling back. We said he doesn't walk a lot of guys, just 31 walks and 112, now 113 career innings. Check swing and no go, says Jose Polanco down at third base.
He's got a 3.5 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio. He's got 108 strikeouts now.
Did check his hands. There's a foul ball. Gordon now 3 straight 3-ball counts. He's won the first 2. Got LeBron to ground out. Got the line out from Oots, and now another 3-2 pitch to Cuervo. That's ball 4 up high. He tried to reach back for a little extra and elevated. One out walk. Second base runner of the game for the Blue Hose. Here's Jackson Huggas. Breaking ball strike in there. 0-1 the count to the Presbyterian catcher.
It's 5 for 8 over the weekend with 3 walks.
A lot of good competitive at-bats you can expect from this Blue Hose program. Now, they put up good numbers, obviously, in the opening series, competition notwithstanding. They scored 295 runs last year. About 6 a game. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. One more look at it. Good pitch. Austin Gordon's second strikeout, both looking and both on that breaking pitch. One other thing to note about PC, their top 4 hitters are back and in the lineup today. Gorman, Farr, Dragoo, and Oots, all returners who played a ton last year. LeBron appeared in 40 games. Cuervo appeared in 32. Weatherington only hit .209, but got 42 starts. He's at the plate right now. So wealth of experience returning for this Blue Hose team, particularly on the offensive side. Blake Wright gonna have a play? Nope, not quite.
These two teams played a very competitive game last year on March the 8th. The Tigers won by a 5-3 score.
You know, they generally do. The series, Clemson's won 67 of 90 meetings, and 10-3 against Presbyterian at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. But when these two teams get together, a lot of these are knockdown dragouts. Squares to bunt and pulls back. Counts 2-1. Presbyterian beat the Tigers back in 2019, 8-7. Did the same 5-4 in 2015. .53 is a pretty low-scoring matchup between these squads. Normally it takes 7 or 8 runs to win it, minimum.
Both teams had 7 hits a year ago.
Ball 4, and a 2-out walk issued to Weatherington. For the first time today, a runner in scoring position for Presbyterian. It's the 9-hitter Aaron Hobson with a chance to tie the game with a knock here. Hobson getting his first career start. Grounder right to second. Purify his first play. He makes it. And the side has got folks around here really, really excited. And we've already seen why with several of the guys that have gotten some innings on the mound and some at-bats and innings in the field as well.
Yeah, when you evaluate a team these days, you look at freshmen and transfers. You love to have some very talented freshmen for your future. A lot of teams, all the teams obviously are taking in some transfers, but yeah, a lot of the newcomers very highly regarded and off to a good start.
Jack Crichton, a young returner, so he's in the returner category, but a sophomore from Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Yeah, he came on at the end of last year. He played in 18 of the last 19 games last year after not seeing much action the first half of the season, but got a lot of action in the ACC tournament. Started the first game of the NCAA tournament.
0-2 pitch on the ground to second. Gorman, close play, gets him at first. So Crichton retired. One more look at that play. Slow roller. Gorman had to get it there quickly.
He was patient with it, but he fielded it cleanly.
All right, here's Purify. Came in as a defensive replacement late in the game on Friday. And he is one of those guys that people cannot stop talking about. Native of Detroit.
Ranked as the #2 player, #1 shortstop in Michigan by perfect game coming out of high school.
In the air center, chasing Dragoo back. He's at the edge of the terrace and will make the catch. Park held that one. It did not hold Cam Cannarella's first swing. Out to right center field. That put the Tigers up. First pitch of the game from Sean Hollister. And there are the numbers on it. 102 miles an hour off the bat, 382 the distance. Cannarella, the ability to square credibly to bunt and also hit the first pitch out, no doubt.
Said this before, it reminds me a lot of Neil Simons, who was the Clemson center fielder, wore #10 when I first came to Clemson in the first baseball season was 1979. That was Neil's junior year. He was a 4-year player, still the only 4-time first-team All-ACC player in Clemson history.
Pretty high praise for Cam, and he earns it. A multi-hit game for Cam Cannarella again.
Didn't take him long to accomplish that feat.
No, it did not.
And has failed to mention it after his home run. That's, I think, a 13-game hitting streak now over 2 seasons.
It is 13 straight with a hit. He had 3 hits on Friday. He only had 1 hit Saturday, but also walked twice. They intentionally walked him once. And he had 3 hits on Sunday and an intentional walk, and already 2 more here today.
He's scored at least 1 run and had a hit in all 4 games so far. And he goes down to second there.
A mishandle there behind the plate. Interested to see how they score this. Cannarella, you see the secondary lead, and he is off. Sees the little misstep, and he made him pay. Will Taylor, good hitter with runners in scoring position, has such an opportunity now. And they are going to give a pass ball there. First time all year Clemson has scored first. Xavier struck first in all 3 games over the weekend. Check swing, he didn't go, says Doug Vines. I wouldn't say the Tigers necessarily battled back. Here's another look at the check swing. Ooh, pretty close. I don't want to seem like they were down 4 or 5 runs, but they did have to hit from behind in all 3 games and really were unfazed. Ball 4 inside, and that's back-to-back. 2 out base runners. The Tigers now trying to build a late inning here.
Second walk by Hollister.
Here's Blake Wright. Fly out to right field, his first time up. Two on and 2 out, and he takes up high. And we talked about a Johnny Holstaff approach here from Presbyterian. This is the second time through the order for Hollister. You see the pitch count at 45. It's a guy who's very used to coming out of the bullpen, not as much starting games. There's a pop-up, should in the inning. Good pitch and a good job battling by Hollister with 2 on to get the pop out.
Gave up 33 hits and 13 runs, all of them earned. Struck out 33 and walked 15 at a 3.94 ERA. Hampton Falls, New Hampshire. The Tigers have had a good tradition of players coming here from New England back to when Jack Leggett was the head coach, who grew up in Maine, coached at Vermont, played at Maine.
And Coach Leggett always had kind of a soft spot for guys from that area. Found a lot of good pitchers from there, a couple position players too. He always seemed to find some diamonds in the rough up there. Good breaking ball strike from Allen. 43 pitches from Gordon, 25 for strikes. There's a look at 7. Back on staff. At times he said, you know, I don't know if I want to do this more than a year, back in the sort of player development side. And somebody asked Eric Bakich during the offseason. Oh, right off the glove of Purify. And that's a hard hit single for Jack Gorman, the leadoff hitter.
First hit of the game for Presbyterian.
You see the athleticism from Purify on display here. Look at this.
Glasses went flying.
Always a good sign. I don't know what that's like. Here's Brody Farr. Pitches inside. Going back to Jack Leggett for a second. Eric Baggage was asked, hey, is Coach Leggett coming back in that role? And his response was, Jack Leggett can be here as long as he wants. This ball's golfed to right center. Mathis on his horse, not going to get there. Chance to send the runner if they want. They will not do it. Second and third, nobody out, and Allen rudely greeted. 2 hard hit balls from Gorman and Farr.
Well, Farr, arguably Presbyterian's best player, came in after an 11 for 15 weekend at the plate for Presbyterian against St. Peter's and laced that beautifully right in the gap.
Brody might not admit it, but when you go 11 of 15 and your teammate gets the player of the week,
yeah,
you're probably a little bit extra motivated week number 2.
He hit 361 last year for Presbyterian, which was the best batting average by a Blue Hose player since 2015.
This ball's hit in the air, should get a run home. Canarella's around it. The throw goes into third and won't hold anybody up. There's a sac fly RBI for Joel Dragoo as PC ties the score here in the third.
It's his 15th RBI of the year. He had 14 in that opening series to lead the club.
There's a look at Canarella, the tag from home. Blue Hose hitters have track record. There's a ground ball. Infield was in, throw home, not in time. It was a high hop. The Tigers had crept the infield in there. That ball just was not hit hard enough for Crichton to make a play, and Farr busting it down the line beats the throw.
Yeah, he must have gone right on contact.
I really wondered if Crichton maybe weighted back on that ball a little bit. He didn't. He came in immediately, did everything he was supposed to do there, and Farr just flat out beat the throw. Give Noah LeBron credit for an RBI there. PC with the lead here in the third.
So they score that a base hit?
They called it a fielder's choice.
But it says 3 hits on the scoreboard.
It does say 3 hits on the scoreboard.
I had no hits coming in this inning.
Strike on the outside edge, 0-2. That's probably going to get fixed at some point.
What's the old stats monitor say?
They got it a fielder's choice. Yeah, 2 hits in your stats program, 3 on the scoreboard. Now they fix the scoreboard. There we go. I always tell people, if the scoreboard seems wrong, it is. And I know you don't need to be convinced that the stats are probably right. Just a tad low from Allen. It's 2-2. Two-two pitch to Oots. Hit a ball to the wall in center field. His first time up. You don't want to make a mistake here if you're Allen. Pitch popped up. Shallow right, Purify calling everybody off. Now giving way to Mathis, who makes the catch.
Good communication there. You always let the outfielder, if he's going to get it, take it.
Yeah, Purify was calling it for a while, but Mathis never quit charging in on it. And you could see it if you're watching at home. You saw the potential for disaster. There's a bunt, third base side against the shift. Allen, the throw, got him. Cuervo tried to beat the shift, could not do it, but the Blue Hose get a pair of runs. We'll come back for more in a moment.
Greatness.
I got nothing. Can you hear me on here?
Back here, we got you, Coach. 2.5 innings in the books. It's Presbyterian 2 and Clemson 1 here with Elton Pollock. And Coach, you got to love the way your team responded there in the third, continuing to put pressure on the Tigers pitching.
Yeah, I like it a lot. The guys just kind of getting settled in. For a lot of them, it's the first time in this atmosphere. So getting our feet on the ground a little bit, and obviously a very good Tigers team. So just really proud of them for that last inning, and hopefully we can keep the momentum moving.
Terrific start for your ball club last week, Coach, especially at the plate. But your team ERA was 2.40. Your pitching was pretty good, too.
Yeah, we just ran into a little bit of trouble. He was not spotting his off speed, and so we had to challenge him in some spots. And obviously, leadoff guy was able to see a pitch. Very good hitter, very good player, and overall, just really pleased to be in the position that we're in, coming out of a bases loaded situation there.
Coach, appreciate it very much. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, that is Coach Pollock there doing a great job. The veteran coach, 2 decades at the helm at Presbyterian College, and he is going to a new arm. This is Kyle Mueller, 6'4", 215 from Winter Haven, Florida. And this is a guy that, look at what he did the first weekend, a couple innings, a hit, 4 strikeouts, awfully good to start this 2024 campaign.
Absolutely, 6'4", 215 miles per hour fastball.
He's coming in about 88 to 90. Honestly, he's got pretty similar stuff to Hollister, who started the game, and off the end of the bat, just over the bag, Alden Mathis grounds to the shortstop. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Yeah, he struck out 4 in his 2 innings, as he said, and I believe the opponent batters were just 1 for 7 of them for a 143 average.
So good start for Mueller there. Here is Jimmy Obertop. Strikeout looking back in the first inning. A little bit up and in there. Clemson got this note from Brian Hennessy. The second inning was the 11th consecutive inning that the Tigers have gotten multiple runners on base. That's the good news. I would say there's not much bad news that comes out of that.
No, except only scored 1 run so far. There's a shot.
Left field. It's out of here.
Yeah.
Jimmy Obertop answers the bell. You gotta love when a plan comes together. First home run as a Tiger for Obertop. A line shot out of here to tie this game at 2 apiece.
It's already the 7th home run of the year for the Tigers in just 4 games. They got around on that one nicely.
One thing Clemson's done very well is hit pitches hard that are down the middle. That was right down the middle. And Obertop did not miss it. 368 feet, 105 miles an hour off the bat. And the Blue Hose lead for the moment short-lived. Chufo, you could tell he's chomping at the bit to get in there. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. There's a line shot through the middle, a base hit. Chufo off to a very good start to his Clemson career. Now 4 for 10 with 4 walks.
So what did Brian say? 9 straight innings with 2 base runners?
11 straight.
11 straight, so this would be 12.
That's right. A little bit low, the pitch to Jacob Jarrell. He struck out looking his first time up. Hollister, 2 innings, gave up the solo shot to Cam Canarella, and then the rest of his time did a really good job. Pitched around a little traffic in both innings. Jarrell, I thought it was a real testament to his work ethic that he was able to get the nod behind the plate. You got a veteran like Obertop who's caught a lot of games in his college career. Jarrell showed his numbers from last year. He didn't quite hit 210. There's a stolen base, and that is easily swiped by Chufo.
First of the year for the Tigers, is that right?
That's right. He got a great jump on Mueller that time. One more look.
Yep. In there easily. Mueller, by the way, led Presbyterian in wins last year with 6. Pitched in 21 games, 4 as a starter. Obviously won a few in relief.
Hit high down the left field line and foul. That's what Jarrell has. He's got a lot of pop in his bat, a little swing and miss. A lot of freshmen do that last year. Behind the plate, you could tell there were some good days and some not as good days for Jarrell, but this staff has a lot of confidence in his defensive abilities to put him back there. Both the pitching staff and the coaching staff. And there's a check swing, and he knows he got rung up there. 2 down in the inning. One more look. He was definitely sitting fastball there, and that sinker died on him. Jack Crichton, a ground out his first time up. There's a breaking ball strike. Second straight start for Crichton. Filled in admirably in left field in Will Taylor's absence on Sunday. And he was an outfielder last year. Got a little bit of work in the preseason on the infield, and particularly at first base. He's a guy whose athleticism certainly plays.
Had 4 2-hit games last year. As I said, he really came on the second half of the year, played in 18 of the last 19 games.
Two 2-1 from Mueller is low. One thing Crichton didn't do great was take walks. He's very aggressive, and again, that's a lot of young players. Just 5 walks, 67 plate appearances. Right here, he's sitting on a 3-1 count. The runner is second. And there's ball 4. So the Tigers now with 2 on and 2 out. Already a run across in the third. And Jaron Purify back up. Hit a shot to center his first time. These are the kind of situations you want a guy like Mueller who's been in these battles, understands what's required, how to dig deep. Both teams, you can see in our scorebook, coming in undefeated and really not super tested. Neither one of them really challenged. The Tigers on Sunday fell behind a couple times, but from the middle part of the game, you felt like they had it pretty well in hand. Hit in the air, foul, and you heard the shout from the dugouts, out of play. Purify's job here, just to hand the baton off to the next guy, who happens to be Cam Canarella. He's trying to find his way aboard, freshman from Detroit. And he hung around on a good breaking pitch. There's a look at Cam. Already a 2-hit day for Canarella. Tigers would love for him to get into a run scoring opportunity. Swing and a miss. Cam will come up fresh in the 4th. Good bit of pitching from Mueller to keep the game tied. Talk to Eric Bakich. After 3 innings down, William Quaggamus, Tim Beret with you here from Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Chance to visit with Clemson head coach Eric Bakich. Good battle brewing right here. What do you like that you've seen from your team so far?
You know, I guess the solo home runs are okay. We've had some hard contact, but we've punched out a couple times looking. That's not characteristic. You know, they're a good team, and especially the top of the order. They've got some table setters up there, especially that 2-hole hitter. He's really good. He could play anywhere. So, you know, we had a mental error last inning, just, you know, not collecting an out. But, you know, hey, look, this is one of those Tuesday battles where we're just going to have to raise our game a little bit and be a little bit more, you know, crisp and sharp out here with what we're doing.
Coach, I've been following Clemson baseball since 1979. The star player at center fielder was a guy named Neil Simons. I don't know if you've met him yet or not, but boy, Cam Canarella, I feel like I'm going back to 1979. Wearing the same number, batting left field, playing at center field, and it was very similar games.
Oh yeah, Neil's the man. All ACC performer all 4 years. Spoke to the team last year. Good friend of the program. Good dude in general. So if he's watching, shout out to Neil, and all the alums. So yeah, we gotta make those guys proud and, you know, play Clemson baseball here, and we will. We'll be fine. It just seems like a little bit of a slow start.
Real quick, I want to ask you, what do you want to see from Joe Allen here in his 2nd inning of work?
You know, he's right there, just weak contact. That's what we want to see. He's got a really good sinking fastball, running sinking fastball, and so when he can get down in the zone like that, he's going to get ground ball outs. And then he's got the good slider to pair with that. He's similar to Billy Barlow in that regard, just the running sinking fastball with the slider going the other way. So good ground ball guy to have in there. And that's what we'll want to see, him work fast, be efficient, get ground ball outs, and have a shutdown inning for us.
Awesome. Coach Bakich, thanks for the time. Best of luck rest of the way.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that is head coach Eric Bakich. And while we were talking, his pitcher Joe Allen really settled in. He got us for 2 outs.
2 outs during an interview. That might be a record.
Got the ground out to short. And then the fly out to left. It's 3 pitches thus far. And now Aaron Hobson at the plate. He grounded to second. And there's a foul ball. He swung at both pitches he's seen. First start for the freshman Hobson. Blazing out of the gate here. Freshman from Ellenwood, Georgia. I love how matter-of-fact Eric Bakich is. You know, we're settled into a good game. Asked him what he liked, and He didn't say nothing, but he basically did. He said, "I'm not sure." Can you rephrase the question, please? He really doesn't. He's very upfront, and he's held this team to a very high standard. You know, one of the things that I really appreciate about Coach Bakich, and we'll talk about this more on the other side, because Joe Allen just blazed through the top of the 4th inning, a 1-2-3 frame punctuated by a punch out here. I don't think he knows what that's like. I don't think he's ever considered it for a moment. The guy just wants to hit and play baseball.
Yeah, he just loves to play the game.
Big cut there, his 3rd time up, his first time against Kyle Mueller, who gave up a home run, stranded a couple back in the 3rd inning. Strike 2, right on the black there. Mueller's way ahead. This is where it gets dangerous. It's almost like Cannerella's harder to get out when you get to 2 strikes than he was before that. He's on the Golden Spikes Award watch list, and there's a strikeout, a rare strikeout with a changeup there. Route number 1.
It was a little bit outside. It might have been on the black, but it was those rare times he didn't really go with the pitch. A little bit low and outside. Might have been a ball. So that's each of the last 3 outs Mueller's got has been on strikeouts.
He struck out 3 of the last 4. No balls in play since Chufo's single up the middle. Will Taylor has reached twice, but there you see it 0 for 1. Pitch at the knees, a strike. Good location from Mueller.
Location.
A couple innings from Hollister to start the game, couple innings from Austin Gordon to start the game, and now the bullpens are in a battle this afternoon. And we're talking about Eric Bakich and how matter-of-fact he is. You see that foul ball. That hit him right off the catcher. The 1-2, swing and a miss. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Mueller.
And a total of 4 since he came on in the 3rd.
Back-to-back strikeouts he's gotten with that changeup, and there's not a lot of difference. Maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour difference, but that late movement's really got his Tigers hitters fooled at the moment. There's Blake Wright. Eric Bakich during the offseason was fond of having the conversation about Clemson winning an ACC championship last year. He said, you know, it's nice to hang a banner, but we don't see the season as ultimately successful because the standard at Clemson is to finish the season at Omaha. And he's got a way of setting really high standards and not allowing an accomplishment that's not the end goal to become the end goal. This program, since he's been here, has been laser focused on Omaha. There's a look at him. They've got it on the back of the hat for a reason. Hosting a regional, winning an ACC championship, all well and good, but for Eric Bakich, it wasn't good enough, and he made sure that even though nobody would blame him if he took a bit of a victory lap in year 1 of his tenure here, he made sure everybody knew during this offseason that They were not satisfied with the accomplishments that they had last year, as good as they might be. Blake Wright, one of the guys that really helped set that tone. Captain on this team. Made a move from third to second. He's getting a return back to third base. Ball 4 in tight. And Wright works a 2-out walk.
6 consecutive batters at the ball fair. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
And the first 3 balls, first 3 batters put the ball in play against Mueller. First pitch he threw is to Alden Mathis. He grounded out to the shortstop. Mathis singled back in the first inning, stranded at second base there. Wright will take off. Quality base runner. The Tigers aren't cheap on their leads at first base either. He bluffed going to second, and the pitch is in the dirt. And all of a sudden now, Mueller's controls left him. .30 is in there, a strike. Talked about Mathis. You know, he showed his power, and he's hitting in the middle of the order. And he got walked a bunch of times. I think he walked 4 straight plate appearances. There's a knee-high strike right on the black. One more look at it. That was close. Maybe a little wide. 3-2. That one's outside. No doubt about that one. And another inning. 13 in a row. And the Tigers have had multiple hitters reach base.
All 9 on Sunday.
And that's really the frustration that Eric Bakich is talking about, that, you know, Sunday they did score a bunch of runs, as we've got a visit to the mound here. Pitching coach out to chat. Well, you look back at Sunday's game, Clemson scored in 5 of the 8 innings. In the bullpen, 27, that's Jeffrey Hayes, a junior right-hander. Getting loose. Kenneth Fitz breaking up the party. Tigers multiple base runners. Again, 13 consecutive innings they've had multiple base runners. They've been held scoreless in 4 of those. And unless Obertop can come through, it'll be 5. And that's, again, that's what Eric Bakich is a little bit annoyed about in there, the first base dugout. Jimmy Obertop takes in the dirt, ball 1. He lined one out of here over the left field fence his last time up for his first home run as a Tiger. Pitch. All right on the corner. You see the runners, first and second, Mathis and Wright. Tigers led early and then fell behind. That was a strong throw over to second. Boy, Mueller reared back and rifled one over there. Blake Wright calls time. So far today, the Tigers 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Just 1 for 7 with runners on base. The theory goes, you keep setting these opportunities up for yourself. At some point, you're going to kick the door down. The Tigers just haven't done it yet. Mueller all of a sudden dealing from behind in counts. Grounder sneaks by far, and that's going to score right from second base and give Clemson the lead.
Well, there's your 2-out hit.
First hit with runners in scoring position today comes courtesy of Jimmy Obertop, who's now driven in 2 on the afternoon. One more look at it. Just sneaks by far. Really no chance to get Blake Wright on the way home. And it remains a first and second 2-out situation for Chufo. Just low. Chufo had an interesting stat line on Sunday. He was 0 for 1 in a game where he appeared 5 times at the plate. He had 2 walks, including a bases loaded walk, a sac bunt, and a sac fly. So 0 for 1 with 2 RBIs.
You're right. That is an unusual stat line.
That, though, is the type of situational baseball that Clemson's beginning to be known for. Laser right at Hobson. Good hands by the freshman at the hot corner. Tigers get one and regain the lead. We head to the 5th. Started the weekend and the midweek, back in, middle of the game. Basically did whatever Clemson needed him to do last year. So we can give you some length here in the middle of the ball game if he continues to throw like he did back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, had a great inning in the 4th.
Yeah, 17 appearances, 4 starts.
He's facing Jack Corman, who's 1 for 2, one of their top players. Got hit by a pitch 15 times last year, which led the team. So he likes to crowd the plate a bit. He's a senior from Memphis, Tennessee. Over the last 2 years, he's started 102 games at second base.
Swing and a miss. Good sequence there from Allen to get the strikeout. That's his 2nd in a row. He missed his spot there, but he missed in a good way. Like Jarrow was set up middle in. Got the swing and a miss, and now here's Brody Farr. Tough guy to retire. 1 hopper down to Crichton will do it. 3 unassisted for the 2nd out, and that's now 7 in a row sat down.
Yeah, good to get him out. He's had doubled his last time up and scored. Outstanding player. He's got 56 career games, 56 career multi-hit games, including all 4 last weekend.
Heard Eric Backett say he could play anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's borne out over time to certainly be the case. Here's Dragoo. Allen threw off the timing with a changeup there.
Speaking of guys who don't have an official at bat yet, he's got a sacrifice flying. He got hit by a pitch, didn't he? Yeah.
That's right.
Failed to mention he actually hit a homer against the Tigers here last year. Clemson's 5-3 victory, and they could tie the game. in the middle innings. One of his 8 home runs last year. He's already got 4 this year.
3-1 from Allen. It almost hit him. Way inside and a 2-out walk.
And he still doesn't have an official at bat.
No, he doesn't. He's probably okay with it. Let's see, did that catch him?
Did it hit him? It looked like his jersey kind of moved around like it had. I don't know.
They have.
Take a look at the stat monitor and see. Brian Hennessy's got a better view of it than we do.
They give him a walk.
Okay.
And now Gerald's going to go out and talk to Allen. Slow jog. Well, he was cruising this inning, last inning. Only took him 7 pitches to get through the 4th. And he had 5 pitches to get the first 2 batters in this inning. And now his command has left him and the bullpen's empty. So this is certainly his inning with his team up a run. Ground ball right back to him. A little confidence from the catcher is all he needed. 1-3 put out. Tigers come to bat with a lead.
Greatness in
12 hitters. That was some really poor math.
Yeah, each of the first 2 pitchers have faced 12 batters.
Jacob Gerald chased up high, 0-2. A little bit of a funky delivery from Hayes. It'd be an adjustment period for the Tigers. Gerald struck out twice today. He's still dealing with a little bit of back soreness. That ball's ripped foul. He got a hanger. Nice to see Gerald back in the lineup and able to get behind the plate today. Got him up the ladder. 84 miles an hour, but that ball took off like a rocket. 1 gone. That's an interesting sight line from the plate. It's almost like it's popped up right side, and that is going to be out of play in the bullpen. It's almost like you're looking at a shot putter, the way he releases that ball out of his hand. Jack Crichton's got to deal with it now after the strikeout of Gerald. Breaking ball, didn't miss by much there. There's a big reach back and then kind of a short delivery. In the air, center field, lazy fly. Dragoo gets the glove on it.
You're right, Will. You wonder how he gets any speed out of that delivery the way it comes off of there. But obviously he does.
That may be the catch, because I think he's hit 84 in every pitch we've seen so far.
Okay.
There may be a method to the madness. There's a shot, blocked at third. Long throw across, Purifies down. And a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Blue Hose. 2 ball game, these 2 coaches in a bit of a chess match. Elton Pollock, Eric Bakich.
As we said earlier, neither team really challenged that much in their first weekend of play, but that is certainly the case now as we have a 1-run game heading into the 6th.
Allen back out there. He allowed a hit his first two batters. Gorman and Farr greeted him rudely. They both ended up scoring on non-hits. Allen has not given up a hit since. Sac fly, a fielder's choice, a walk, and outs. That's it.
He is in his fourth inning of work. Austin Gordon started, faced 9 batters, and went 2 innings, struck out 2, walked 2.
Fly ball to center. Canarella coasts under it and makes that catch, and Oots retired for the 3rd time. This is Cuervo coming up, and you see Elton Pollock giving Oots some love. He's really hit the ball pretty well all 3 times. He's just hit it at people. Line drive to the wall and center, and then a fly out to right and a fly out to center again. Cuervo tried to beat the shift with a bunt for a hit last time, and it did not work like he planned. Allen was able to make the play and get the out.
Presbyterian was hit 424 in their 4-game series against St. Peter's, but just 2 for 18 at the plate as a team so far in this game. As you saw the shift Tigers are implementing for Cuervo.
They're back at that shift this time. Undeterred by the bunt attempt. Back in the 3rd inning. 1-2 from Allen. In the air. Canarella started back. Now he'll come in and make the play. But Purify ran a long way just in case for Cam, just to kind of jog lazily up underneath it and make that catch.
4th put out of the game for Canarella.
Now it's the catcher, Huggis. Ground ball to short. Chufo. Ooh, a long stretch for Crichton, and he pulled him off the bag.
That's going to be the first error of the game for Clemson. Not a good throw.
See what happened here. Looked like Chufo fielded this cleanly and had time. He did. Look, it just sailed on him a little bit.
Yep.
Not sure what happened there. That'll go as an E6, of course. This ball hit down the left field line and pretty deep, and Taylor able to make the play, and the Tigers get out of the inning with no damage done. Up a run and coming to bat, bottom of 6. The 5th, where they went down 1-2-3 against Hayes. He's back out to face the top of this order.
Canarella up to lead off. He's got 2 hits in this game, a homer, a single, and a strikeout. He's extended his hitting streak to 13. Ironically, last year when these 2 teams met, he had 2 hits and extended his hitting streak at that time to 13.
Knee-high strike to Cam. He's down to the count 0-2. Slap through the left side.
How about 3 hits?
I'm telling you what right now, that guy is just not easy to pitch to with 2 strikes.
Yeah, you made that point. He obviously went the opposite way, went with the pitch beautifully. Stays right in there with 2 strikes.
Another thing that's interesting, if you go back and watch, his body language when he took strike 2, I don't know if he didn't agree with the call or if he annoyed he didn't swing at it, but he was annoyed. You could tell by his body language. A lot of times when guys are annoyed, you're assuming they're going to chase one. They're going to get themselves out somehow. They're in a tough spot in terms of their headspace. And I feel like it just makes Canarella more likely to make a baseball play. Just slap the ball through the left side. Do a little Tony Gwynn impersonation out there and get himself on board.
Yep. That was a Tony Gwynn type of hit right there.
Runner going, and the grounder right to the first baseman as the Tigers execute the run and hit. Sure, Will Taylor would have liked to find a seam somewhere, but he moves the runner regardless to second with one out. Now Blake Wright, RBI possibility here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That ball is chopped foul.
Got a little on top of a curveball there.
We talked about the velocity for Hayes, not his strong suit. 84 is the fastball. And 68, 69, 70 have been the curveballs. Runner moving, throw down, he's out.
Hey, it just slid past the bag.
And Canarella, you hope he's okay. He is down. We have seen him slide and avoid tags so many times, and this is not good. You knew when his hand came off the bag that something was amiss because he has been so good at finding ways around tags.
He definitely had to play beat. He just overslid the bag.
Great to see him up now. Eric Bakich is out. Athletic trainer also giving a look. Kimberly Hill.
Looks like it's his shoulder.
Really what's interesting is they're looking at his right shoulder. It was the left shoulder, that was the one that he was reaching with. And he's going to come out of the game.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, he was out, so.
True. Good point. Let's give it another look here, see what we can tell. He slides in. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Just one more look at it. Don't know. Clearly something was wrong. It's a fly ball to right for Blake Wright. Catch made. And the side's retired. We'll be back for the 7th when we return. Coming out in him. Squaring to bunt and unable to connect is Hobson. (9-1-2) in the order due up against Darden. Allen set the bar pretty high. So did Gordon, for that matter. Allen, after those first couple of hits, really settled down and was awfully impressive. This ball's lifted down the line and foul.
Yeah, Allen gave up hits to the first 2 batters he faced and then didn't give up any other hits. Faced 17 players, 17 batters overall. Those first 2 were the only 2 to get hits off of him. And he walked just 1.
That's really a big plate appearance for Darden with Gorman, Farr, and Dragoo due up. And a solid job by Hobson hanging around with a 1-2 count. Right on that guard. I'm pretty sure that still hurts. even with the guard. Swung on and missed. 2-3 put out, completes it. That's a big first out for Darden. Top of the order due up. One more look at that breaking ball. That's what Darden did well last year. Keep batters off balance. He had some really good moments. 6 innings of 1-run ball at NC State. 5 innings of shutout ball at Florida State. 5 innings of 1-run ball against College of Charleston. Came out of the bullpen some as well.
He's got to face it. Gorman, one of their top hitters.
Fouled away. Yeah, Gorman's 1 for 3, scored a run. Yeah, struck out twice.
Gorman hit .299 last year for the Blue Holes. Led the team in doubles with 16 and 3 homers. Had a 5-hit game against Western Michigan.
Gorman takes down and in. Two from Darden. Chop foul. BC hanging around. It's what they do. Really, if you look at historical trends, they're due for a win here. The last decade or so, they win once out of every 3. And the Tigers on a couple-game win streak against this team. Two again, swing and a miss.
Really jammed him inside.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Darden. That time he climbed the ladder with a fastball.
I believe that's 8 strikeouts for the Clemson pitching staff. Last year when these two teams met, the Clemson pitching staff had 15 strikeouts.
Here's Brody Farr, lefty-lefty matchup. Farr's really hit the ball hard all 3 times. Had a 1-hop grounder right to first. Crichton dealt with his last time up. Set of Tigers on a 2-game win streak. It's actually 3 counting last year. There's a fly ball to center. Caught by Canarella. An easy 1-2-3 frame for Ethan Darden. Stretch time here in Clemson. Move in both with that home run and then the RBI single. And from then on, it's been a pitcher's duel. You saw there, really, the guy who deserves a lot of plaudits for the Tigers is Joe Allen. 4 innings of work. I know he gave up a couple of runs, but really held the Blue Hose down from there. And now we're in, again, the latter stages of the ball game. And a 2-0 count to the left-handed hitting Alden Mathis right in the heart of the Tigers' order. This is where you can do a lot of damage. These hitters coming up, Mathis and Overtop and Chufo. And a 3-0 count. Jeffrey Hayes back for his 3rd inning of work. He's done a really good job. Canarella's single through the left side, the only damage against him thus far, and Canarella was caught stealing 3rd. Three-one pitch to Mathis. Boy, 73-mile-an-hour changeup. My goodness.
There used to be a guy pitched for the Baltimore Orioles in the 60s named Stu Miller. And I remember that he did an interview once and they asked him about his pitching speed, and he said his pitches were slow, slower, and slowest. They didn't have guns on pitchers back then, so we really don't know how fast he was throwing it, but He was effective.
That was close. The check swing from Mathis. They said he didn't go, and I think the right call. Mathis, a veteran move not to hold it. Just going down to first.
Second time he's walked, so he's gotten on base 3 out of 4 times.
Jimmy Obertop talked about 2 big at-bats. Solo home run to tie the game, RBI single to take the lead. That single from Obertop, still the only hit of the game with runners in scoring position. Presbyterian 0 for 2, the Tigers 1 for 7. Hayes looking to pitch around the leadoff base runner for the second straight inning. Runner going and a tap foul. Tigers trying to cook something up there again. Get that runner moving into scoring position.
You said that was Obertop's first home run as a Tiger, but the 30th of his college career. He had 29 at Michigan.
Very good power hitter. As we've seen, not a guy who strikes out a ton. He's got 1 strikeout today. There's a look into the Clemson dugout. Eric Bakich has coached Jimmy Obertop twice now. There's a shot foul. A guy like Obertop, you know, last year Clemson had Riley Bertram, who was an extension of Alden Mathis, by the way, calling time. Going to readjust the gloves a bit. And Riley Bertram was an extension of the coaching staff. He's actually now an assistant on Xavier's staff. Tigers able to see him this weekend. Obertop fills a similar role. He and Bakich very much on the same page, and especially with his role as a catcher on this team at times. Fly ball caught by Weatherington. That's the first out of the inning. Now it's Andrew Chufo. And his day has been chock full of a lot of stuff. Walked, he singled, he stole a base, he lined out to third. And now they're going to call time and look at something. Looks like maybe the latch on the, something on the catcher's gear. Maybe a pitch comm situation. It is the earpiece. Just making sure that's right. I don't exactly know what happened there. Kenneth Fitz is on it though. Here's Chufo. Mathis is back. Strike at the top of the zone.
He had 82 miles an hour there. You would just say 84 was the fastest you've seen so far.
Big lead at first. He is running. Pitches outside, throw down is not in time. We talked about Mathis, not just a power hitter, but a stolen base artist as well. Double-digit steals at Richmond. He got a good jump here.
Gets him in scoring position. Tigers would love to get an insurance run.
And they may get it. There's a looper over second base. Nick Schnabel's going to hold him up at third. There's a hit with runners in scoring position for Chufo as he continues to fill the box score today.
Third time he's been on, 2 hits and a walk.
Just a little poke. 69 miles an hour. Turned around at 95. That's pretty good. And now Eric Bakich is going to call time. Now, this is something that he does a lot of, and Elton Pollock is also going to call time, and he is going to go to the bullpen.
He's one of 2 players from Alabama. There's actually 11 guys from Florida.
That was a square, by the way, from Jacob Jarrell, and an uncontested steal of second by Andrew Chufo. Now second, third, one out. Foul ball back. And the Blues did make a change in the field as well. There's Eli Lazio. And a game for Cuervo. Oh, look out. That was a suicide squeeze, and Jarrell hit the deck. Couldn't actually tell. It was hard to tell from here if it actually hit him or if he hit himself with the bat trying to get out of the way. Face down at the moment. Again, athletic training staff tending to him. Jarrell catching today for the Tigers. Gonna do a job there. Put himself out there, squared around. You're hoping he's all right. Of course, you got Nick Schnabel from third base down there. Again, athletic training staff, Eric Bakich out there as well, and a nice hand from the crowd as Jarrell's up now. See, tending to his face.
Looks like.
All right, we're going to look at this now. See exactly what happened. Watch him, he squares. Oof.
Did it hit the bat first?
I believe so. One more look.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think it did. Yeah, I think he went. I think it may have gone off of his face and then maybe off his arm. That was the 1-2 that we saw. Tough to see that, really is.
Thank goodness he's doesn't appear to be hurt more than he could have been.
Oh, no doubt. Let's see, he's being tended to in the first base dugout. And I would imagine they're trying to see if they can get him ready to continue in the game, or at least seeing if that's an option. Nick Schnabel's out talking to Kenneth Fitz. See Crichton and Purify getting ready over there. Situation remains the same, second and third and one out, and Eric Bakich now out to have a conversation. And he's talking now to Craig Barron, the second base umpire. Meanwhile, Elton Pollock having a conversation with Kenneth Fitz. And there's a look at your umpiring crew. They've done a good job today.
Yes, they have.
Fitz and Vines and Barron veterans of ACC baseball. Jose Polanco, I believe it's his first time at Clemson. Tigers up 3-2. This is a really big moment in this baseball game because you're in a one-run spot, second and third, one out. You're trying to get at least one run. That was a squeeze play where the runner from third, Mathis, was almost home. He got a big jump down at third base. And so you know Gerald was trying his best to get the bat on the ball as best he could, even as it was bearing down on him. Conversation continuing between Eric Bakich and Craig Barron, and now he's going to come together with Kenneth Fitz and have a conversation. They're going to call it, I believe they're going to call it a hit by pitch, which they should.
Yeah.
And they did. And that may be what Elton Pollock's asking about right now, just what was the call? Because we have a pinch runner stretching and now standing just wide of first. There's a look at it. Now you see on the right of your screen, Tristan McClatty, 55, is going to run down at first base, it would appear. There's a look at Tristan. And that will load the bases with one out. There's Tristan. Second appearance of the year for him. Another one of those youngsters that they are very excited about. And again, the base is loaded. There's a look at them all. Mathis at third, Chufo at second. And the pinch runner, McClatty, out at first. That ball misses in on Jack Crichton.
Now the bases loaded situation.
Not quite as prominent as it was this weekend. The bases loaded half the time for the Tigers. Knee-high strike. Crichton's 0 for 2 with a walk.
So this is the second time Clemson's had the bases loaded, correct?
That's right. Makes 14 times on the season so far in 31 innings. Downstairs, 3-1, and there's nowhere to put him. I would imagine Crichton sitting dead red here. Ball 4 inside, and that's a big insurance run for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 7th as Mathis comes home. Jack Crichton gets himself an RBI. And the pressure is not off by a long shot for the Blue Hose and for Caden Barnett. Jaron Purify takes a strike. Purify still looking for that first collegiate hit. Be a heck of a time for it. I'm sure we talk about obviously the hit by pitch and how it impacted Gerald. I'm sure Barnett's feeling it too.
Yeah, it could certainly unnerve a pitcher when you hit an opponent in the face.
Blue Hose getting another righty warmed up, Tanner Smith. Smith, one of their better arms. 1-2 is up and in. A lot of ways to score a run, bases loaded, 1 out. Purify's got options. There's a look at that left side of the infield, and Crichton. In the air. That'll get the job done at least. Backing to left, still backing, it's out.
Another grand slam.
Jaron Purify's first collegiate hit is a grand slam to left. It snuck over the wall, and the Tigers are up 8-2, and look at Jaron Purify. He is fired up.
Well, I swear when it came off the bat, I thought he hit it off the end of the bat.
I did too. I thought a sac fly would have been fine.
Right, yeah.
He got a lot more than that. What a swing. He just flicked it out there.
He did. He pulled an outside pitch. Rarely do you have that kind of a result when you pull an outside pitch.
8-2, the Tigers lead. Look at that round to third. My man's hopping around, and rightfully so. The third grand slam, as Tim said, of the season for Clemson.
And the 9th since Eric Bakich became the head coach of the Tigers.
Now, you know, that's a big sigh of relief, too. This game was, you're a Clemson backer, this game was too close for comfort. There's some missed opportunities. We talked about the runners left on base. They've left 9 today so far, but a 5-run inning, you can forgive a lot when you do that. And boy, on the other side for Presbyterian, you were hanging around in the game, looking at what's coming up. Maybe a chance to get that top of the order up one more time in the 9th. And now you've got a long road to hoe back. Two-two to Canarella is low, 3-2. Cam's been a problem today. Stayed in the game, was down on the ground for a moment after he was caught stealing in the 6th. This ball's lifted to left toward Oots, who makes the catch. Will Taylor, the 8th man to bat for the Tigers, as you look at Canarella, retired for just the 2nd time at the plate today.
That home run was the 8th of the season for the Tigers in just 4 games. Clemson didn't hit their 8th home run last year until March the 3rd.
You know, that is something interesting when you lose the type of power that Clemson lost last year, particularly Caden Grice, Billy Amick. I think a lot of folks just assumed, well, this is going to be a team that's going to run the bases and slap it around. That ball's hit in the air to left. Not the case. Oots makes the catch, but a 5-run 7th, capped by Jaron Purify's grand slam, gives the Tigers a big lead. Line shot and down in front of Canarella. First pitch single for Joel Dragoo.
His first hit, but he's been on base 3 times. He's actually 1 for 1. He's got hit by a pitch, walked, and got a sacrifice fly.
And now we've got a pinch hitter.
Ryan Becker.
Ryan Becker is the new batter. Becker's a sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. South Forsyth High School. There's a look at his bio. Got some action last year, 259 hitter. Started three of the 4 games this weekend, hit 364. 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 RBIs.
You got to hit 500 to make sure you're in the lineup.
On this team.
On this team, at
yes.
least after the first weekend.
And a look at Jimmy Obertop, who was the DH, is now in at catcher. So he is in for Gerald. And that DH spot you lose. If you're scoring at home, that becomes the 7 spot. If it comes down to it, the Tigers will have to hit the pitcher or pinch hit. Poked foul. Hang around swing from Becker. Bottom of this order, you look at the lines, they've not done a lot of damage, but I think that's a bit misleading. There's a diving stop by Chufo, and he out-recorded at second base. What a play to rob a hit from Chufo up the middle. That's well worth another look.
All-out dive. Shovels it with his glove from glove to glove. Nice play.
That shovel, you see him Purify coming together. As the umpires are going to look at this, they are going to review it. Now you saw it kind of hit the heel of the glove as Purify reached down for it. But it certainly appeared from the replay we just got that Purify was able to find it in his glove before he came off the bag. We'll look at it again. A full out dive, and then you see, whoop. His left foot's on the bag.
Yeah, he's on the bag.
Pretty good hand-eye coordination by Purify. That could have easily rolled off of there.
Hit the thumb of the glove.
That's really good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And he's got it in his glove right there. I mean, in the dead palm of it, but he's got it in there. I think in the palm might be a little bit generous. He might have it between the bottom of his thumb. What a play by Purify. Really all around. Craig Barron's going to make this call. And he's out. So Becker's on with a fielder's choice and a fine 6-4 put out at first between Chufo and Purify.
He's got the dirt on his uniform to prove it.
He certainly does. First pitch swinging for Oots. I know he's had a frustrating day. He's 0 for 3, and he's really hit it pretty hard all 3 times. He chased Canarella to the wall.
Yeah, 3 fly balls.
Back in the second, a ball that he really gave a ride to. PC for sure. Good enough offense to get back in this game, no doubt about it. Chufo to Purify. Quick turn to first for Crichton. A couple of laser beams with a 6-4-3 double. Like they've got 12, 13, 14 guys that probably could be playing every day. We've got to figure out ways to get everybody in the lineup. little injuries and illnesses and things pop up. You got to have guys ready. And you can see it. Purify, first career start, hits a grand slam. Jack Crichton's out at first base. He's had a good day today. Those are guys that were not in the opening day lineup. Blake Wright now a 1-1 count against Barnett, who's back out there. It's actually a new arm, a right-hander. Tanner Smith, senior from Lawrence. Told you he's one of the better arms for this team. Struck out the side in his 1 inning of work thus far. Last year he had a 4.34 ERA. He was really the best guy. This bullpen struggled a little bit a year ago, but Smith was a rock for him. 53 strikeouts in 37 1/3 innings. And a 2-2 misses tight.
He was named to the preseason All-Big South team as one of the pitchers. Honorable mention All-League last year.
3-2. Hit to right and fading toward the line. Weatherington makes a catch. Blake Wright hitless, but a walk and a run scored today. Actually hit the ball in the air the opposite way 4 times. 3 flyouts to right and a pop out to first base.
Yeah, you're right.
Wonder what he's been working on.
He's been working on going the opposite way.
Alden Mathis, big swing and a fly. Shallow right. Who's talking? It's the first baseman who makes the catch. 2 down. That's Lazio out there. Mathis now 1 for 3. And Jimmy Obertop, really a catalyst for this team in the middle of the ball game. Had the solo homer in the 3rd. Gave the Tigers the lead again with an RBI single in the 4th. A 2-out knock to left. Just snuck by the shortstop. Now a chance to hit again, this time as a catcher. Fly out to right field his last time up. That ball's mashed and by the third baseman, Hobson.
A 3-hit game.
That hit Hobson's glove, I believe, and kind of just died down in the corner. Obertop, an easy stand-up double. Watch and see. Sure did, right off the glove of Hobson.
First double of the game by a Tiger, 4th extra base hit. There have been 3 home runs.
Now Chufo's back. Quite an eventful day for him. How about the defense he showed in the last half inning?
It was a web gem.
Chufo with, you see there, I mean, he's filling up our bug. 2 singles, a walk, a couple of stolen bases, scored a run. And the one time he got out, he ripped a line drive right at the third baseman. They really like that combination in the middle infield of Chufo and Jacob Hinderleiter, who has been in the lineup, getting a day today. Swing and a miss. Both of those guys bring a lot to the table that help you win. I mean, Hinderleiter's been fantastic thus far this year. 3 for 8 on the weekend with 3 runs batted in. And you've got Chufo, who's now got 5 hits, trying to make it 6, but that's going to hang up and be caught in left center. And the side's retired. Tigers looking to end the game in the 9th when we come back. Olenchuk. You want to talk about a guy who has pitched in a variety of roles, in a variety of arm slots. He's done it all for the Tigers in the last couple years as he's kind of tried to solidify a role in this pitching staff.
Yeah, this is his 4th year in the squad. This is his 49th career appearance. He started 7 games over his career. He's got 64 career strikeouts, 25 walks in 76 1/3 innings. He's 4-4 for his career, but 3-0 over the last 2 years.
First chance we've gotten to see Eli Lazio hit. Junior came in at first base a couple innings ago defensively. Olenchuk starts him with ball 1, 89 miles an hour. Going right in there for a strike. Ty is a quick worker. Former high school quarterback. Down in the dirt. Lazio 0 for 5, but with 4 runs scored. He has walked 6 times this season. So a very patient hitter, and right there he checked up. Here's a look. He did. Crowd didn't like it, but it was a good call. Olenchuk going to take an extra moment.
Darden did a good job, faced 6 batters in 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, and struck out 2.
And there's another walk for Lazio. 7 walks.
He's the human walk.
12 plate appearances and 7 walks. I hope he's satisfied. I might get tired of it. I might start chasing a little bit. Leadoff walk for Lazio. Cuervo, by the way, exits the game 0 for 2 with a walk today. And another pinch hitter. This is Jake Randolph. Pinch hitting for the catcher. See the numbers there. Last year, 200 hitter with 10 RBIs. So far this season, just 1 plate appearance. He walked and scored. Olenchuk a long look. Line drive, Canarella on the move, catches. 1 away.
Presbyterian had back-to-back hits in the 3rd inning. Both players scored. They have not scored since the 3rd inning. They have just 1 hit since the 3rd inning. Pretty good job by the Tiger pitching staff today against a team that came in hitting .424.
And you know, you mentioned Darden. Joe Allen's line doesn't look very good, but after those 2 hits, he allowed the 2 runs, but he settled down mightily at a critical moment for the Tigers. Those 2 guys in particular deserve a lot of credit. And Austin Gordon, 2 shutout innings for his part to start the game. This Presbyterian team scored 58 runs in a 4-game sweep of St. Peter's, but as Tim told you, they have been limited quite a bit by the Clemson defense and pitching staff here today. 0-2 to Jay Wetherington.
Actually, it's Wallace.
It is
pitching
Wallace,
for
that's
him.
right. Yeah, Rogue Wallace goes down.
It's a 7th strikeout for the Clemson pitching staff.
First of the day for Olenchuk. He just came right at him. And here's Hobson, the freshman, the last hope for the Blue Hose, a swing and a miss. Hobson 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. And a nice catch at third base on a line shot earlier in the game. You can see the talent there. Check swing, and he did go around. Says Doug Vines. One more look. Yeah, he did. I think so. Swing and a miss. That's all. Olenchuk gets back-to-back strikeouts. And the Tigers with a 5-run barrage in the 7th inning. Able to make it an 8-2 victory here today.
Win number 2,999 in Clemson history. Friday against Kennesaw State. They'll go for win number 3,000 in the history of the program. If they get it, they'll be just the 8th program in history with 3,000 wins.
That's a heck of a note to finish out on right there. Tigers a big win today.